I know you don't know how they met, but they did meet and marry. Do you know how old your father was
I
and
think
mother
he was 30 when he got married.
30. So that's pretty old at that point.
And my mother, I think, was 23.
So if he was 30,
He was
like,
29.
so 19.
He was married 1908. I know it.
Okay, so he was married in
September.
1908, and was your mother older than he was?
Oh, no. My mother was younger.
Okay, how old was she roughly?
23.
Oh, she's 7 years younger. Okay, and then they had children. So let's go through
The first child was Dominic,
Okay,
my
Dominic.
brother.
Okay, and he was born.
Born in 1908.
No, they married in
Yeah,
1908.
they were married in 08.
Oh, he
September of 08.
So if we're
He
gonna
was
learn
born in 09.
Yeah.
09, okay,
Next child was Camille.
okay.
Camille.
And when she died, I think she was 69.
Camille died at 69. Now she was ill.
She
correct?
was
Breast cancer.
She was ill until she was fine until the early 20s, and then she became mentally ill.
Yeah, okay. And then did she live in a hospital then?
Not yet.
Okay.
She still was home. She went into a hospital later when it got to a point where she would go walking at night, and she would, she had to
Right.
be watched.
And so after Camille was
James.
James, okay. And who later changed his name to Jordan. They
A
went
long
from
time
Giordano
after
to
that.
Jordan.
Long
Okay, but
time.
that's how we get Jordans out of Giordano.
Was he married before he changed his name or after?
After.
Oh.
So now we have
And
Dominic.
actually, it wasn't Dominic or James's decision. I think Cecile was the one who pushed it.
Cecile. Oh, well, now, who's Cecile?
She was married to
Dominic's
Dominic.
wife.
Okay, so it was Dominic,
Uncle Dom.
Camille,
James.
James.
And then Anna.
and Anna. Oh, now she didn't live very long.
She died when she was 9.
Oh,
She had a heart problem. She had asthma. And my mother said she'd come to the table. Her ankles were swollen. She could hardly breathe. And she just died.
okay.
And I was, I think, 2.
Okay, so okay.
I can remember, believe it or not, when you're 2, the things that
Do you?
I can remember the funeral
Yeah.
of
Now, at that point, did they have the funeral in the house? Or
they
did
had the
have
wake in the house,
Yeah.
and then the burial.
Okay.
So wait, so then after Anna,
After Anna was Dorothy,
okay,
and then Veronica, then Rita, and then Agnes.
Okay.
So it's basically 2 years apart for each of you, right,
That's
Mom?
right.
because you were born in 22,
Yes.
and Agnes was born in 24,
24.
and her birthday is July 28th.
Who was that?
Agnes,
Oh, her birthday is July 28th.
So
She just turned 91.
yeah.
and at one point, how many were living in the same house in Brooklyn? At what? Do you remember? Was at some point the whole clan there? By the time you were born, Dominic was how old?
Oh wait, well he was
50.
born in 9.
09 to 2010,
13.
13 years.
He was
so
13.
you had everybody was living in the house at one
We
point.
all lived together as far
Yeah,
as I
sure.
recall.
So Dominic would have been 15 when Agnes was born.
Right. So the whole clan was
Big-
living under
big
one
group.
roof in Brooklyn. Do you remember the address?
Well, the last address that I remember was in Brooklyn on 12th Street,
Okay.
East 12th.
Was that the house that Agnes lived in when she finally sold it, or was that the house you lived in before she moved again?
They moved a
Well,
lot.
Yeah, they moved.
Yeah.
it was the last, no, she moved with my mother and father to another place.
Okay.
So,
So you were on 12th Street in Brooklyn with a lot of kids.
well,
I mean, how many?
Dominic,
Dominic, Camille,
I'm not
James.
Dominic. Dominic was married then.
And he married, what was her name?
Cecile.
Cecile. Okay.
Cecile O'Donnell.
Okay.
O'Donnell?
O'Donnell.
And where did they move? They lived in
They lived
Brooklyn?
on the side over us.
Oh, okay.
They moved upstairs.
Yeah, they went up like 13
Three
steps
stairs
up.
And then I got married in 49.
You got married in 49. But before you got married,
Who else was married? Dominic was married.
right?
Dominic was married.
James was married.
James was married.
Veronica was married.
Veronica.
married Joe Judge.
Yeah.
Was Dorothy married at that point?
Aunt Dorothy.
Yes.
So Dorothy married
Ed Kilroy.
Ed Kilroy.
She
So
married
Dorothy was the
Ed
Kilroys.
Kilroy.
Veronica was the
James
Judges.
married
The
Loretta
George.
Tully.
Loretta
Oh,
Tully.
Tully.
Okay.
Okay.
And big
then-
weddings? Were they big weddings?
No.
Big affairs?
James was in the army,
Okay.
and they had a nice, quiet wedding. They didn't have big weddings. then.
Okay.
Dominic's was very small. He got married to Cecile, and I think James was his best man.
Okay.
Wasn't even at the wedding.
Okay.
It was married, and
Okay. And then Dominic, he got sick.
he was
young.
sick.
He was the piano player.
Yes, oh yes.
Okay.
He was in a little band. He wrote music. He was a school teacher.
In Manhattan, right? Or he taught music,
in
correct?
Manhattan. He played the harmonica, and he played the piano very well. And he married Cecile, and they had 2 children.
And their children's name was?
Eileen, Donald was the first one.
Yeah.
And then Eileen.
Who was the first one?
Donald.
Donald. And he must have passed pretty young as well.
Donald is still alive.
Sorry,
Donald
Donald.
is
I
in a
apologize.
nursing
Donald, I'm sorry I put you. But
He's
so,
in a nursing home.
I didn't know that.
In
Has been
New
for-
York,
Oh,
New York State.
Okay. So, but Dominic got ill with leukemia or some sort of that at young, 55 or something.
Yeah, but he and Ed Kilroy used to tape weddings. Not only tape them, I have a record.
So
of
they're the
mine.
ones who I was going to get to that.
And possibly whatever chemicals they were working with might have
Oh.
affected him.
Oh.
Because he never smoked, but he
Different
got
era.
something.
Okay. So you then met Dad in 1947?
48.
In Connecticut with Agnes.
Right.
And you were in New Milford, up at the lake.
Lake Montvilla.
Okay.
Lake Montvilla, up in New York, up in Connecticut.
Yep. And Dad was with Hank.
Yes.
And you hit it off, he took you for a ride?
We and my sister Agnes and I had taken the train up there, and they met us, and we stayed there, and Dad and Hank came for July 4th weekend. They were working at GE, and he came. And that's when I met him. I was out rowing. I loved to row. And he and Hank were in a canoe.
What ever made you and Agnes decide to go to upstate Connecticut?
Well, we
for,
looked in the New York Times at different places. We wanted a week's away. And we found this ad for Lake Montvilla. Sounded very nice. It was, just a quiet place, very pretty. We had individuals sitting, maybe 4 at a table. They had good food. They had a lake, it was right on the lake. It was a very pleasant country. So we thought we'd try that, and we did. And that's what we, and after your father and Hank left, there was a whole group of people that we met. They were from Brooklyn, actually, and they were nice people. We got together, and while we were there, believe it or not, someone drowned.
Oh, jeez.
And it was a week, and your father asked me for my phone number, and he called me, and he and Hank came back there Labor Day weekend, but I didn't.
Okay.
I went to the shore in New Jersey.
Did they invite you to come back?
Well, he said he was going to go there, and I thought, have a nice time.
Okay. So when you were there, where were you working at the time?
Where was it?
Where were you working at?
I worked at Saucony Vacuum Oil Company, 26 Broadway, downtown in Manhattan.
What did you do there?
I was in the economics
Because
library.
you had studied economics. You had studied economics, right?
I did. I went from 1 year to Fordham University
You went to Fordham for a year doing economics.
on a Saturday.
And what did you do at Saucony?
At Saucony, I worked at in the area where I did research for people. I did a paper each day on oil. I
Okay.
did some typing. I did a lot of people could call for information. I would look up for it. I was a researcher.
Did you like it?
It was very nice.
Okay. Now you worked down in the local battery,
And
right?
that's where I lived and worked until I left to get my
Okay,
married.
so you worked there for several years. I mean, you went
I
in there.
worked first. That wasn't my first job.
Okay.
My first job was at Burrell's Press Clipping Bureau, where you were picked out. They gave you a whole list of clients, and you would go through the newspaper to find them and check them out. It was like their public relations.
Yeah. Okay. How long did you work there for?
I worked there until I went to Saucony.
And you were commuting, obviously, back and forth, Brooklyn to Manhattan at the
I
time.
lived in Brooklyn and took the subway into downtown to the
Okay.
sub, yeah.